شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. For the past 3 days, we have been looking at tribalism and the consequence, the implication on security. And we have been reminding ourselves the same verse of Surah Al-Hujurat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called all mankind to remind us that I have created you all from a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes so that you may know yourselves, distinguish yourselves, not that you may despise each other. Verily, the most honored of you in the sight of Allah is he who is the most righteous of you, and Allah has full knowledge and is well acquainted with all things. We have discussed the Islamic perspective, trying to understand what Islam has to say about tribalism. And we have come to realize that Islam does not support it. We remember the statement of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he warned us clearly that we must not call to tribalism. We must not fight for tribalism, and we must not die on tribalism. Laysa minna man da'a ila asabiyya wa laysa minna man qatala ala asabiyya wa laysa minna man mata ala asabiyya. This is very, very important. When you add this to the verse of the Quran we have just read, it's very clear to us as Muslims. Now, in this noble month of Ramadan, we can see clearly that Asabiya has no place for us as Muslims. And this is the message we must give to humanity. We are all fasting, brothers and sisters. Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, Efik, Idoma, and so on. All Muslims all over the world, we are fasting. For those of us in Nigeria, we will meet for iftar in the mosque. Anybody who provides the iftar, we don't want to know. We go to the mosque, all the fruits made available, we all sit down with the fruits, we eat together, we drink together. This is brotherhood of humanity. The coming together of all races. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. Righteousness, piety, and don't forget, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also given you Ramadan for what reason? La'allakum tatakun. For piety, for righteousness, for you to move closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can now see the link, the direct link between that verse in Surah Al-Hujurat, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you, the best amongst you is the one that is righteous. And here, Allah has given you a whole month to attain that righteousness. To attain it, you cannot be a tribalist. You must eschew tribalism. Now you have seen that hunger does not discriminate. The way you feel the pang of thirst or hunger is the way your brothers in other places will be feeling it. It's not different. you are all fasting. You are all feeling the same, having the same experience at the same time. That is the reality of Islam. It brings you together. It brings you together in the brotherhood of humanity. We all come together as one. And when you further understand all other aspects of faith, Salat, that's the way you also congregate in the mosque. In the same way, you congregate for your Taraweeh. You don't ask Muslims of north, east, or west to queue separately. You don't choose different imam. You have the same Qibla, the same Quran, the same prophet. So there's no way you can resort to tribalism. If anybody preaches anything other than this, you must know his or our understanding of Islam is defective. This is what Ramadan has come to give you. Never call to tribalism. There is a great blessing in our coming together. We help ourselves. We share experience. We share ideas. The way Salman al-Faris was able to bring experience from Persia to help the Arabs, the Muslim Arabs, together with himself, to conquer the Kuffars. We have benefited from the experience of a brother from another place, from the knowledge of a brother from another place. This is the way Islam wants all of us to work together, to share experience. In smaller nations, it's going to be very, very easy for us to be swallowed. Piecemeal, the enemy will swallow you. And you must remember, when you want to break up the ensuing commotion, there's no way to not break up your brotherhood. Now you must have realized, those days you talk of the North as a monolithic North. It's no longer like that. You know better now. In fact, the Southwest that we think is monolithic is not. This is when you will know the difference between the Igbomina man in Kwara and the Okun in Kogi State. You know the difference. Yet, they all claim descent from Oduduwa. This is the time you are going to realize that there is difference from the Oguman or Egun. You can call them Egu or Egun from Badagry. And they are Wari brothers who are quite very, very close to them. This is when you are going to realize the differences between them. And then you are going to realize the difference between an Egba man and an Ijebu man. Yet, they are both in Abeokuta. What will an Ibadan man do to an Ijebu man? Is he going to resort back to the olden days? I remember when he said that if you see a snake and you see an Ijebu man, you rather leave the snake and go and kill the Ijebu man. These are ideas that are not just only dirty, but they corrupt our mind. We must move away from them. The moment you are calling to tribalism, that's where you are going eventually. That's where you are going to get to. When you look at this, you know that there's no monolithic North, no monolithic West, no monolithic East. The East still remains acephalous. No single king can say, I will control everybody. The East remains the East, the West remains the West. Yet, the peoples of these areas, these geographical entities are different. We are binded together by that bond of the nation we have brought ourselves to. The moment we are looking at cutting that bond, we must know that other fault lines, which we have explained earlier, will come up. In all this, Ramadan does not want that. Ramadan has come to build our unity, to bring us together so that we can relate together, we can understand ourselves, we can become brothers and sisters on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you congregate in the mosque, after your iftar, How do you relate? Brothers from all tribes in the country will meet in a mosque. You choose one imam. He will stay in the front. When he says, Allahu Akbar, Takbiratul Ihram, what do you do, all of you? You follow him. Nobody will say, this is a Yoruba imam, I won't follow him. This is an Hausa imam, this is an Igbo imam. No, we don't say that. I have brothers who are Igbo. I love to pray behind them. I have brothers who are Hausa. I love to pray behind them. I have brothers who are Yoruba. I love to pray behind them. What will happen when we raise the gun, the sword, the knife, the cudgel against ourselves? When we start to abuse ourselves, what will happen? This is not the lesson of Ramadan. Ramadan has brought all of us together, united us in the same acts of worship, in the same experiences. We will all wake up to eat sahur. It's not a question of whether I'm rich or not, I'm poor or not. No. Even if it's common water, everybody will wake up, you will drink. To wake you up, maybe it's an Hausa man who will be running your street to say, everybody, wake up, it's time for sahur. Everybody, wake up, it's time for sahur. Maybe it's an Igbo man, maybe it's a Yoruba man. And based on that, you wake up. He's going to have his own benefit. You are going to have your own. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has caged shaitan, locked the doors to hell, so that you can have maximum benefit in this time of Ramadan. This is time for you to take your mind back to Allah. And this time you go back to Him, remember, He said He has created you into nations and tribes. Lita'arafu. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The best of you is the one who achieves piety. How do you achieve piety in this month of Ramadan? If you hate people from other tribes. Now I want to give us a last challenge. How have you lived at all with people from other tribes? If you have lived with them, can you genuinely say all people from other tribes you have lived with are all bad? You are the only one who is good. For me, that's never my experience. I've had the opportunity of living with people outside my geopolitical zone all along. I've always enjoyed living with them. And I live with one presently who relates with me as if we are blood brothers. We are not from the same geopolitical zone. We don't speak the same language. We are not of the same religion. When crisis comes, automatically, the mutual relationship between us will be disrupted. People will go their ways. Where will I be looking if I see an Hausa man being killed innocently? If there's a crisis today, we'll start attacking the Hausa man who is selling biscuits, the Fulani man who is a gate man in your environment. Meanwhile, he is suffering like yourself. Don't do that. Use this month of Ramadan not just to educate yourself, educate everybody. We must be the bridge builders. We must be the ones building bridges for people, clearing the roads for mutual understanding, mutual relationship, beneficial relationship, making corrections, speaking out. And lastly, to government, I want to say that you cannot rule by staying in offices. Our problems are too compounded. You must come out to feel our pain, feel our pulse. Stop this idea of staying in the office and getting reports. The reports you get about us are incorrect. Not until you come out, relate with us, feel our pulse, understand our burden. That's when you can have policies that will relate with us. But the policies you now have are policies that talk only about your political understanding. If you have given a policy that makes health delivery free. Find a time to go to the hospital and find out. Are people getting that health delivery free? If you have made education free, visit the schools without announcements. Go and find out what time are these pupils, these students, what time are they coming to school? How are they being taught? So that you don't have a situation where you have students in the school without teachers, and they are giving you the impression, the report, that everything is okay. When you tell people, go and distribute rice outside, find out the location they are going. Arrive there, they say it's 10 o'clock, be there 10 o'clock. You will see that the commissioner is supposed to distribute rice, is not there. Call him. Commissioner, what about the rice distribution? He will tell you we are right there. Please, can I see you? I'm under the tree. The phone will drop from his hand. Because he must be lodging in an hotel with a girlfriend and is giving you fake reports. Unless you come out to relate with us, to know our feelings, to know our problems, written reports will not give you adequate situation of our feeling. And the moment you don't understand our feeling, you will not be able to build programs and projects that will remove the frustrations that are making people to call for tribalism, that are making them try to pull the roof down and make governance very, very difficult. Unless you relate with us, you meet us, you will not be able to understand why people bully you, attack you in public. You will not understand why you have to settle them before they let you go in peace. Please, come to town. Come and have our feeling. Come and interact with us. That is the way to build mutuality. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.